Law number 12. This is the law of curiosity, and the law of curiosity just says growth is driven by wanting to learn more.
So guys, we're going over 15 Laws of Irrefutable Growth by John Maxwell. It's a key essential part of what we do in the personal development, right? So make sure you guys are taking down notes. We're going to be reviewing it at the end of this 10-minute video. I want to know what you learned, what your biggest takeaways were. Really listen and see what you can take out that you can implement now. This works, helps in all areas of our life, business, personal, finances. So really key in, take copious notes, and then we're going to go ahead and review on this Money Monday.
There is nothing new under the sun, but there are lots of old things we don't know. And curiosity is a state in which you want to learn more about something. A curious person has a thirst for knowledge. They're interested in life, people, ideas, experiences, and events. Now, let me just call the time out for a moment, because when I teach these laws, these are laws that I've learned. But if there is a law that I didn't have to learn, it was this law. I don't know why, but in my own DNA, even as a kid, I always had a curiosity bent to me. And I can still remember, even when I had my buddies over and we'd be having sleepovers at their house or my house, I was always the first one up. Because when I woke up, even 13, 14, when I woke up, I had to get up. Because I've always been afraid I'm going to miss something. Now, you have to understand, I grew up in Circleville, Ohio. 12,000 people, farming community. The only thing I'm going to miss is corn growing. Do you understand? It's not like I was in New York City where it was a thriving, driving, pulsating metropolis where just things were. No, I grew up in Circleville, Ohio. And I'd wake up and I'd say, I got to get up. I might miss something. A lot of times I'd be the first one up. I'd go through the house, just somebody up. Is there something I need to know? What am I missing? Now, I say that because I said Circleville, Ohio. I know people that are in the midst of exciting things and they're not curious a bit. They're just kind of wondering if they need to turn their pillow over for a little bit more rest. Now, this law is a natural law for me. And I can't stand thinking I'm missing an experience. We went out the other day to the Falcons training camp. They had one of those VIP things, had to come in on Sunday afternoon. So 4 of us went up there and I said, now guys, you understand it's hot. We're going to have to stand. They're going to have hot dogs that aren't hot. So we're going to stay there for about 20 minutes. We're not going to, we were allowed to stay for 4 hours. I said, this is an IQ test. But the reason we're going is I want the experience. I want to be there. I want to go over and watch him hit a few times. You know what I'm saying? I want to maybe tackle a guy as he comes over to the sideline and just kind of get a little feel of what it's like to be in the NFL. And when I got there, I decided not to do that. I did try to motivate the other guys to do that because I said, I'll take your picture. Wouldn't that have been huge? Wouldn't it have been huge? One of the guys coming off the field, and you just hit him. You didn't have wouldn't that? That would have just been huge. But in 20 minutes, I said, okay, let's go. Okay, been there. We got that. We got that. Now, what am I saying? I love to experience something. I love the experiences. And so the law of curiosity has always served me very well. Trust me, it's got me in some very interesting things. Okay. So let me read the paragraph. The value of curiosity is greater than its thirst to learn. I believe curiosity is directly linked to imagination and creativity. All three explore territory beyond the ordinary. All three extend thinking beyond the ordinary. All three expand possibilities beyond the ordinary. All three experience understanding beyond the ordinary. Curiosity begins with more questions than the ordinary. Imagination creates more options than the ordinary. Creativity finds more solutions than the ordinary. The result, extraordinary living. So how do you cultivate curiosity. Number one, have a beginner's mindset. Now, a beginner's mindset is not an age thing, it's an attitude thing. A beginner's mindset asks a lot of questions and keeps asking until it gets answers. A beginner's mindset is vulnerable, it has no image to uphold, and it wants to learn more than look good. A beginner's mindset is not influenced by preset rules or acceptable behavior or thinking. Have a beginner's mindset. Number two, learn something new every day. Every day. When's the last time you learned something for the first time? Learn something new every day. 3 or 4 years ago, Margaret and I and my brother Larry and Anita, we took a trip and we went over to Jordan. And I've been over there quite a few times, but I'd never gone to Petra. And I wanted to go there. I wanted to see it. And it's just, if you ever have a chance, you want to go. It's just truly a wonder of the world. But you walk a long way. And my left knee was really getting bad, and I was within a couple of months to get a knee replacement. And so we walked for about 7 miles, took the great tour. It was fabulous. So we sat down for lunch, and our guide then said, on the other side of this mountain, in the stone, in the mountain of stone, is another incredible hewn out place that was at one time a magnificent library. And it said it's spectacular to see. It's not on the tour, but if you want to go this afternoon, you have time because the guided tour was over. And my knee was throbbing, and I said, I just don't think I'll do it. So we had lunch. By the time lunch was over, my knee wasn't throbbing quite as much. And I looked at Larry and Nita and Mark, and I said, I have to go. And they just started laughing because they knew. I said, I have to go. I'll never get back here proud again. I have to go. So we started going up that mountain. And it took about an hour and a half. We got up there, and it was amazing. It was worth it. It was worth it. I was so thrilled. The old knees throbbing. Now I've got to come down on that thing. And if you know anything about it, it's worse coming down than that. And I'm coming down, and I'm just saying, I don't know if I can make it. I may have to sit on my butt and let gravity do its thing. Just kind of lift my legs and just hope to slide. Well, that wasn't working very well either. And then they had these donkeys up there that you could ride. I don't know if you've ever done a donkey ride going down a mountain. If you're curious, let me help you. Don't. Just let me help you. Because I said, I think I'll do the donkey ride, of which I got on the donkey, and the donkey started slipping, and I saw my life go before me. I don't know if you've ever seen a fat man dive off a donkey. I dove off a donkey. Oh, bloodied and scraped. Took me 2.5 hours to get off that mountain. I soaked my knee in the hotel that night for 3 hours, just trying to get there, just trying to get there really. Now, I just laugh at myself because I knew that I shouldn't do that. But there was, I had to do it. The whole curiosity thing just did, and now that was and now I'm so glad I did. I mean, I got my knee replaced. Now I think I'd like to go do that again. You know how in your stupid moment you say, okay, I'm ready to do that. It's like, after you have your first baby, you say, no more babies, you know what I mean? And 2 more years later, oh yeah, let's do it again. You know what I mean? Okay, but curiosity. Now, number 3 is make failure your friend. And just make it your friend. Understand that you're just going to fail. You just are going to do a lot of failing. Okay? Make it your friend. In fact, this is good for you. Just look at your neighbor and say, you're going to fail a lot more in your life. Just go and tell them. You're just going to fail a lot more in your life. Go ahead and tell them. Okay? Doesn't it make you feel good, huh? Especially to tell them that. I mean, how many of you have been waiting to tell somebody that? I mean, you're just going to mess up. But hey, look at the person who just told you you're going to mess up and fail in your life. Say, I already have. I'm sitting beside you. Okay. Number four, stop looking for the right answer. Stop looking for the right answer. There are 2 fallacies to the right answer people. One, there's always more than one solution to a problem. And to buy into the only one right answer is to stop the search for more and better ones. And number two, the right answer or the best one can always become better. Linda will tell you my favorite word is options. I love options. I just love options. I don't want just one thing. I'd like to have 17 things, and let's just keep them all as open as much as we can. Like, keep all those doors there, because you don't know when you want to go through one. And you know, you just I love options. Okay. And it's driven Linda to drink. She knows. She knows. She knows. I'll share with him what we got here, but he'll probably come back and say, "No, there got to be other ways to do this. Let's look at it." Number 5, get out of the box. Just get out of the box. Thomas Edison said, "There ain't no rules around here. We're trying to accomplish something." Boy, that's just the opposite of the government, isn't it? They got a bunch of rules and they accomplish nothing, don't they, huh? Yes, they do.
Okay. So I want you guys to type in the chat, what is your biggest takeaway from that? I'm going to go over my notes and then we're going to go over it together. Okay, so he said, curiosity, growth is driven by wanting to learn more. A curious person has a thirst for knowledge. Curiosity to grow is stronger than the thirst to learn. Believe that curiosity is directly linked to imagination and creativity. All three give thinking above ordinary, right? Possibility above ordinary, experience, understanding, imagination creates more options than the ordinary. Creativity gives you more solutions than the ordinary. Curiosity begins more questions than the ordinary. So he's talking about extraordinary living. How do we do that? How do we become more curious, right? And this is something you guys could be asking yourself. Am I curious about real estate? Am I obsessed about what it is that the opportunity that is in front of me? Am I obsessed and curious about my self-awareness, learning myself as a person, and growing myself? Because we know if you want things to change, you have to change things within you, right? It all starts within you first. So how curious are you about your self-awareness? How curious are you about learning the different real estate strategies or techniques, which they're pretty simple, right? If you focus on your self-awareness and the mindset of the instructors when you're going through your classes and the mindset of the people and how they think and being curious on how they think, that's going to give you a lot more power to take the action, right? Then the action becomes the easiest. So are you curious about that? Are you curious about learning different skills, having a positive attitude, learning what makes other people successful, the highly successful individuals? Are you curious about it? It says, how do we do that? We must have a beginner's mindset. So actually, let me share this. So we must have a beginner's mindset. When you're a beginner, you're learning something new and you're truly curious. You're asking questions. You're not afraid to look stupid, right? You're learning. You're a beginner. You're always learning. If you tell yourself that you got something, you've already lost, right? Because it's different to tell yourself you're grasping a concept to say you got it. If you say you got something and you're not doing it, then you don't know it, right? Having that beginner's mindset, always looking to grow, keeping your mind open to different options and possibilities, right? Learn something new every day. Make failure your friend. You want to fail early, fail forward, fail often, which really is just a lesson, right? You want to fail gracefully. You want to get beat up a little bit because you won't be successful if you don't fail, right? And talks about stop looking for the right answer. There's always different options, always different solutions, always different angles and perspectives. Being curious. How can we do this better? How can we make this more efficient? How can I put in 5 offers today? How is this guy who's making 7, 8 figures? How does he think? How does he look at things? What's his mindset? What can I learn from them? How can I think bigger? How can I not limit myself? How can I live abundant? How can I be curious? How do I create more confidence? All of these essential tools to be a successful individual, not just in real estate, in life, right? Not just in real estate, but in life. Okay. He talks on, and then getting out of the box. Said there are no rules. We're trying to get stuff done. So my question to you guys is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how curious are you about being successful? How curious are you about personal development, about real estate, about sales, about a winning attitude, about being happy, right? Because that's what we're ultimately in this for, right? It's freedom, and money just helps that out and creates those feelings. But those feelings are really after is the freedom, right? Being free, being able to do what you want, do or have what you want when you want, without money being an option. How curious are you? I want to hear everybody. 1 through 10. How curious are you about learning? How curious are you about growing? What's going on here? Hold on. Failure gives rise to growth, so accept that fact that you're going to make a lot of them. Make failure your friend. Going to fail a lot. Learn every single day and be curious. Failure is not an obstacle. It's your best friend. Get out of the box, right? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yes, sorry, we're here. Okay, Carlos said a 10, but he sent it to me on a private message. So how curious are you? So if you're curious, then how teachable and coachable are you? 1 through 10. Because if you're curious, then you want to learn. Then you're open to suggestions, to being challenged, to learning new things. How teachable am I? Always ask yourself, how teachable am I being? How teachable am I being? Okay, I'm learning this. I'm hearing this concept. I'm hearing this information. I've heard it before, but what I know is I've grown since the last time I've heard it. So I'm probably going to hear something that I'm going to see differently, and it's really going to help me out. What can I learn from this situation? If you don't agree with something, being curious and learning their perspective and staying teachable and coachable, what can I learn from this? So how teachable are you? These are things you always want to be in every day. Practice this every single day. How can I be more curious? How can I have a beginner's mindset? How can I be more teachable or coachable in this moment? So if you're a 1, that's something you need to be, that you're aware of, right? Nadia and Maria, welcome. I think your guys' first call. So if you're a 1 and you know that, that's the first step, right? That's your first step. And I will tell you guys this categorically, being teachable and coachable. Okay, 10. Maria's a 10 and Nadia a 1. So we'll say about a 5, even you guys out, right? But if you're a 10, Maria, you can help him be a 1, because if you're not teachable or coachable, you're not going to learn anything new, and you're going to keep doing the same things and getting the same results over and over and over again. If you're not teachable or coachable, it's going to be very hard for you to implement new strategies, right? And then this goes right hand in hand with this. What's your willingness to change? Okay. This is the teachability index. So you might be teachable and coachable, but are you willing to change? Are you willing to do things differently to get different results? Or are you stuck in your comfort zone? Because what we know, staying in our comfort zone is the quickest way to mediocrity. So if we're willing to step out, try new things, listening to the people who are giving us information that they've done it, proven it, tested it, and it works, and we're open to being coachable and we're curious about it and we're willing to change and do things differently, it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when you will get what you desire. It's the fundamentals of growth. How teachable am I? How coachable am I? And what's my willingness to change? How teachable am I? How coachable am I? And what's my willingness to change? Sorry, my stuff is messing up. Okay. Now, this is something you should just be playing through your mind with everything. When you're having conversations with people with different views, whatever it is, right? With your spouses, with everything in life. How teachable am I being? How coachable am I? What's my willingness to change? Does that make sense? Two people, three people. If it doesn't make sense and you need me to go into more into it, let me know. Because this is not about saying new things. It's about mastering the fundamentals. How teachable am I? How curious am I? What's my willingness to change? Every single time. Somebody's writing on my screen. Okay? The fundamentals. How teachable am I? What's my willingness to change? Your thoughts are the most important thing when it comes to your success in your business and in your life. It's not the amount. Reading this book, The Magic of Thinking Big, if any of you guys get a chance to read it, highly, highly recommend it. It's not how intelligent you are. It's the thought process behind your intelligence. Right? How do you look at things? How do you think? Okay. So, how coachable am I? And what's my willingness to change? So we had a 4th of July barbecue. And then this is something we're going to talk about. I'm sure you guys went to barbecues, hung out with family, talked to people. Did anybody tell somebody new that they are in real estate, or did any of you guys have conversations with people and let them know what it is that you do or what is it that you're looking for and how you can help people? I'm very curious to know how it went, if you guys were able to talk to more people. Okay, Carlos, awesome. Guys, opportunity is around us all the time, right? We just have to be looking for it constantly. Some of the best deals or some of the best people or some of the best resources I've gotten from my business is from people I would never in my life expect it from. Simply by having a conversation and leading it to a point of where we can talk about, right? So how many of you guys have audio business cards? Now, audio business card is when somebody asks you, what do you do, right? What do you guys tell them? Type it in the chat. What's your guys' audio business card? Okay. So what's your audio business card, Tiffany? You guys should have 3 to 4 ABCs and practice daily. Now, okay. I am a real estate investor. Okay. Does that create more intrigue and pull people to ask you more questions? Inario or Maria, I'm not sure which one. Does that fool people? Okay. So you say I'm a real estate investor. Awesome. But what do you do? What is a real estate investor? What does that mean? For somebody who doesn't know, right? They ask you, what does that mean? What does that mean? That's great. Basically, what I'm saying is does that open it up for more conversations, right? So, how about I invest in real estate using none of my own money or credit. Have you ever considered getting involved in real estate? Okay. So 3 or 4, right? I invest real estate using none of my own money or credit. Have you ever considered getting involved in real estate? This is a really good one because it keeps it open, right? Because we're always looking for 3 things, right? People, properties, and resources. Where do they fit in my business? I want to meet people where they're at. So this one keeps it open, right? They might not want to flip houses, but they might have money to invest. They might be a contact or a resource of some kind or know somebody. They might know somebody who needs to sell a house, right? Mark has, I help overworked and underpaid individuals build wealth in real estate so they can spend more time doing the things they're passionate about. Okay. What about I want you guys to notice something. At the end of each one, you always have to follow it up with a question. Ask questions and you control the conversation. Okay. I help people retire early. So I help people retire early. That wouldn't interest you, would it? Now that keeps it open. Well, how do you help people retire early? Oh, well, they invest in some of my deals and I give them a better return on their money than their 401k. Oh, I show them how to flip houses. Oh, I work with the group that's showing me how to flip houses. Oh, I help people partner on my deals. I help people invest in rentals so they can get passive income and supplement their retirement. So do you see how simply just changing the words a little bit and making them more intriguing will help your quality of conversations, right? Now you guys have some good ones. I want them to sound free-flowing and quick to the point, and you sound sharp and professional. All right? Wesley says, I help single mothers learn strategies to possibly help them create enough income to spend more time with their children. So you can simply say, I help single mothers learn to take control of their financial freedom so they can spend more time with their children. See how it's a little bit more sharper? I help homeowners pay off their debt in a third of the time so they can live a life of freedom and spend more time at the beach. So just little tweaks, right? You want to create more intrigue. How can I make this sound shorter, more concise, more professional, and more intriguing? You should only have like 3 or 4. Here's 4 of them right here. And practice so that when it doesn't come out, like you're thinking about it, you need to be unconscious about it, like tying your shoes. When you first started tying your shoes, you had to think about it, write a song, sing a song maybe, and now it's automatic. It's on autopilot. So that's how these should sound. Boom. Oh, so what do? Oh, man, I invest in real estate using none of my own money. Have you ever considered getting involved in something like that? Like, oh, interesting. I mean, I've always kind of thought about real estate. I just didn't know how to get started, or I didn't know what to do. Well, interesting. Let me get your phone number real quick. We don't have a lot of time right now. I can give you a call and we could set up a time to chat. Hey, Jose, what do you do? Oh, man, I help overworked and underpaid individuals build wealth in real estate so they can spend more time doing things they love. That wouldn't interest you, would it? Awesome. Hey, I don't got a lot of time. Let me get your phone number. I'll text you. We can set up a time to chat later on when we're not so busy. All right. We're saying we're at barbecues or, you know, you always want to be in rush and tell them you'll talk at a later time because you don't want to go all into it. You know, if you give them everything on the first date, there's no reason to have a second date. Right? Does this make sense? So these are the fundamentals, because then you'll never run out of leads. You'll never run out of people to talk to. And then on top of that, maybe it's not them, maybe it's someone they know, but then your network expands, because if somebody, you know, knows exactly what you're doing, then if it ever comes into their proximity of somebody they know, they'll let you know or refer them. And now you're growing your network. Does that make sense? Do you understand that? It's not that you're dealing with one person. You want to connect with as many people as you can all the time, but in the right way. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I flip houses. Oh, that sounds cool, man. Like the TV show? Yeah. Oh, cool. It doesn't create intrigue. Okay. So how curious are you? How teachable and coachable are you? What's your willingness to change? Right? Practicing your audio business cards, the people, properties, and resources. Okay. Now let's talk about MMA. What does MMA stand for? Any questions on this before we move on? Does everybody feel like they're grasping this concept? Asking questions and controlling the conversation? Guys, all it takes is 20 seconds of courage, right? Think about that. I heard this on a talk. 20 seconds of courage just to tell people what you do if you feel a little uncomfortable. 20 seconds to talk to a new person. 20 seconds to make that offer. 20 seconds. So try these things out, right? And implement them and try them out and see what works good for you and what doesn't, okay? MMA in this arena, if you will, Miss Tiffany, stands for money-making activities, right? Money-making activities. In other arenas, it would be mixed martial arts, but we are referring to money-making activities, right? Don't spend major time on minor things. Your business cards, your websites, all that stuff is minor things you can do after hours. You should be focusing 80% of your time on your top 20% activity that produces income, which would be the money-making activities. So you got find the deal, analyze, make offer, and follow up when it comes to real estate, right? We're talking about the marketing side. You have see the people, know the story, follow up. what do you guys see twice in there? What do you guys see twice in there? Following up. When you make a new connection, when you make a new lead, when you're whatever it is, always follow up. Always have a system for following up. Okay? But this is where you want to be spending most of your time. Right? You really want to spend majority of your time here and here, right? You're always looking for people, property, and resources. So don't spend major time on minor things. You want to focus on your key money-making activities. Don't worry about all the little stuff and, she's working, all those little things that it's busy work, right? It's all busy work. Focus on finding deals, analyzing the deals, getting great at that, making the offers and following up. So then that goes into what I want to say next is, what is your daily minimums? What's the minimum amount of calls? Minimum amount of offers? Minimum amount of training? Right? You should be setting time apart each day for your money-making activities. And you know what your schedule looks like. You may have to give up things in order to reach your goals and sacrifice the things you like to do in your hobbies for this financial freedom that you're chasing, right? What are you willing to give up to create more time to put in your minimums? What would an extra 6 figures do for you and your family? What would an extra 50 grand do for you and your family? What is that worth to you? So ask yourself, what's your daily minimums? Okay, I need to do at least 20 calls today. I got to get in at least 5 offers in this week. And I got to watch an hour of training every day, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. What are you putting towards your health and your personal growth? If you're not personally growing, working on yourself, your business will never grow. That's the business behind the business. Study every single successful investor that is a practitioner. Study very highly successful individuals. And if you study these people, that's the key. Working on their attitude, working on how they dress, their handshakes, their communication. If you have a crappy attitude, it doesn't matter how many calls you're going to make. You're not going to make many friends. You're not going to make many friends. You're probably not going to get them all the offers accepted. If you're not going through your training, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not healthy, what does all the money matter? So we're not here just to make money in real estate. We're here to make a high quality of life, which every single one of us can get. It's been done before by people probably a lot less smarter than us. We have a golden opportunity. This platform, Vernatus, as the best education out there with the community and support around it. The time is now. Think about what you're going to be in 5 years, what you're going to have, what you're going to do, the places you're going to go, the kind of freedom and lifestyle you're going to make, the legacies and the lives you're going to change, starting with your own, right? You want to help others be successful, start by being successful yourself and following and in creating that culture in your family. Be the example. You have all the support in the world, but it's ultimately on you. What are you willing to do every single day? Compound effect. It doesn't matter about going huge leaps and bounds. We're in this for the long haul, right? Every single day, little by little, chopping at the tree. Okay, what am I going to do today? How can I get better? What can I go do to find some leads? Let me go out there. I've been driving for dollars lately, and I'm I've sent out like 10 letters to den houses that are just vacant. I'm like, man, there's so much opportunity out here. I got so many people calling me. What you'll start realizing is when you just start moving and creating momentum and doing things, driving for dollars, sending out letters, making cold calls, reaching out to realtors, reaching out to investors, you'll start to create momentum and deals will start just falling into your lap. People will start falling into your lap if you do it consistently over time, right? You gotta, it's like pushing a car. You gotta get it going first. You gotta be consistent, do everything. As far as, being effective though and focused. But what I'm saying is just to have those fishing poles. Don't think you're out there sowing seeds. Don't think nothing doesn't matter. Everything matters. Everything matters. You're sowing seeds every single day. One of our wholesales we did earlier this year was a year and a half earlier when we first made in contact. You're just sowing seeds. All right. What can I do today? What's my minimum? How many calls can I get in? How can I find a new deal? Who can I tell my story? Maybe they have money. Maybe somebody they know has money. Maybe they need help. You know how many people out there just need help? The more people you help get what they want, the more you'll get what you want. Does that make sense? Money-making activities. Am I being coachable? Am I being teachable? Am I willing to change? You can be, do, or have anything we want. There's no limit. We have everything we need. We just got to execute. Think correctly. Love what we're doing. Because we know it's not a matter of if, but when. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So we talked about, I think a few weeks ago, goal setting. How many of you guys wrote down your goals? Because I know none of you guys set up calls with me to go over it. What's your goals for the next 6 months? 3 months? Weekly, okay? Now you can also do this if you haven't gotten made a ton of money in real estate. We're all in that same boat, right? Also set goals on your actions, right? We talked about your daily minimums. Set goals on your actions instead of income, because what we know, if you do the actions, it'll generate the income. Okay? So create those goals. Create time for your money-making activities. Be curious. Okay? I want you guys to, one of the most powerful things that you can do is write your goals every morning and every night. You will be stunned by how fast things will start to come into your existence. Write them down every morning, every night. Be obsessed about them. Go over them. Think about what you want, not what you don't want, right? Focusing on the money-making activities, doing the daily minimums. If you're dead tired from work, can I just get 10 calls in? Can I just go drive around and get 5 properties today? Send out some letters or make new connections. When you're in your car, you're going through your training. Okay? Any questions on what we went over? We went over just mastering the fundamentals, right? Which is your money-making activities, your minimums, your goals. Kind of went over a little bit, kind of a lot, but your audio business cards and how coachable and curious and teachable are you and your willingness to change. Any questions? Any questions? Because it is July. We are in the third quarter. It is summertime. Time to make some money. The timing is perfect. We got 6 months, an extra 10, 20, 50, 100 grand. What would that do for you and your wife? What freedom and that sense of certainty, accomplishment, that joy, the abundance life. It's exciting. How many of you guys are excited for the next 6 months, the next 30 days? How many of you guys are excited for tomorrow? How grateful am I? Tiffany's excited. Sometimes it's a little tough not seeing everybody. It's going to be a phenomenal week, right? So, real quick, so announcements. So we have cash flow on Wednesday, 7 p.m. on Daniel Street. We'll do mastermind after. We're going to have to talk about somebody taking on the role of making sure that we're doing our study groups, action groups, okay? So I want you guys to start thinking about that, because it seems we're falling off of it a little bit, and we need to make sure that's a primary focus. You know, the team is growing and the system needs to be consistent so it can keep plugging and playing. I'm not sure. I was going through it a little bit. I didn't finish the cost segregation. I went through a couple other ones. So we need to really think about that and really appoint somebody who wants to step up and coordinate. It's not a big challenge, right? Just coordinate so that it's consistent. So we're not, you know, what we should really be doing is planning out these 4 to 6 weeks in advance. The different classes, right? And we're probably just going to go through and cycle through. But yeah, we have that. Thursday, Carlos, you guys have the San Jose meeting. I may or may not be going. Is it Thursday, Carlos? Santa Clara. Oh, I'm sorry, there it is. They switched it to Wednesday. Okay, so it's Wednesday. Okay. And then July 20th. Oh, it's a different location. Is that permanent or is it just for this week? Not sure. Okay. Well, that's all we got the calendar. The event will be up. The next couple weeks event will be up. So, oh, it is permanent? Okay. Scott Rowe will be starting in Sacramento this Wednesday. Yes. July 20th, we have Darren Davis in Sacramento. He was on the Founders webinar. 9 to 5. I believe it's on auctions. Wednesday will be on the calendar tomorrow, so make sure you guys all register. 20th. So we have cash flow on Wednesday, the 10th. We have it cash flow the 17th. We have it on the 24th, and then on the 31st, we're doing find it, fund it, flip it, fundamentals. Okay, so that's our schedule for the month. Okay, San Jose is Wednesday now. And then July 20th is Darren Davis in Sacramento. This is an intensive, right? So this is when they fly the instructors out of the education. Okay. Any questions on that? Scott Rowe will be in Sacramento. $7:10. So I might switch one of these days actually, so we can go. Anybody who wants to take a trip up there with me? All right, guys. I think he's coming out for 6 months. Well, I think he was going to come out for 6 months, if I do so myself. I believe. Not sure. Not 100% sure. Okay. So hope you guys have a phenomenal night. Also, what I think, I want to just bring this up, and we can talk about this Wednesday. I want to just do maybe a 30-minute conference call, maybe like Tuesday or Thursday, just that for Q&A, just for the team, just so you can call in. We can talk about real estate deals, what's working, what's not, and different things. We can just all call on this conference line. We'll all be on the phone and we can just talk about what's going on. So we can add another day in here, not something that's too crazy. So you can just get on the phone call and listen and ask questions and just go over some stuff. Not a webinar or anything like that, but just something where we can just get on the call. Hey, how's everything going? What deals is everybody working on? What money-making activities? Where you can get your questions answered. So I want you guys to start thinking about that. I don't want to add too much to the plate, but we are just doing Mondays right now, and then we do meet on Wednesdays. But after, I know everybody's tired after the event, so we want to make sure we're focused on that. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Let's talk about it on Wednesday. Open to the ideas, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. If you guys have anything else, let me know. Hope you guys have a phenomenal night. Talk to you guys soon.